Hi Capricorn, welcome to your April 2020 Astrology 33 reading. Thank you to those who have liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you interested in booking a personal reading with me, just check out the description of the video for more details. Alright, as for what we have in front of us, we have a Celtic Cross spread, and we also have a couple of oracle cards that we'll go through once we get to the main spread, and also a mudra card. So, getting started with the main situation, we have the Sun and the Queen of Cups. So this is actually the court card for Cancer. This doesn't necessarily represent a specific zodiac sign, but if we think about the Sun ruling Leo, it can be related to a Leo that you're possibly dealing with, or 8th house matters. So let's go through a few different scenarios that this could be pointing to, because there's already a few that I see. For a small percentage of you, this could actually be saying that you might be pregnant. For others of you, this can just be saying that there could be an offer on the table right now, an offer for a new opportunity, and maybe you're just holding on to what you're already familiar with, relying on the comfort and familiarity of what you already know. So there could be a little bit of reluctance to jump in on something new. And given that this is Cancer energy too, this can just be saying that maybe there's been a spark reignited in that area of life for you guys of, romantic relationships and possibly even just partnerships in general with these two energies coming up together. But with that Queen of Cups energy, I can't help but feel like you might be feeling a bit closed off to the situation as of right now, for whatever reason. Okay, in the Challenger obstacle position, we have the King of Wands, the Two of Wands, and the Fool. So, the King of Wands is actually the court card for Leo energy, and then this is actually Aries energy here too. So for some of you, this can be around work situations as well, and with that possibly a possibility to move, and I feel like that could be the struggle for you guys there, where you might feel like if you move to this new place, maybe there's opportunity there, but maybe you've gotten to a pretty high status in the place where you're currently at. So you could just be considering, okay, well, do I want to start over, right? And take that leap of faith. That could be how it's playing out for some of you. And, that could be why you're holding off a bit and holding on with that Queen of Cups energy, with that familiarity, what you already know. For others of you, this can be a Leo that's actually in hot pursuit of you guys for some reason, and whether that is again a romantic interest or maybe even outside of that, right? Maybe it's a company that's recruiting you, for example. That's another way it could be playing out, and maybe they're not as established as where you're at now. Like, let's say you're in a big traditional corporation, right? And there's like this startup that's trying to get you to come on board with them, and maybe you see the opportunity there, but you also see it as a potential big risk. And I have to say, for some of you, this could even be playing out that the issue is, especially with the uncertainty going on right now, I'm recording this in mid-March, so, various areas of the world, there's all types of uncertainty and travel restrictions going on right now with the whole coronavirus thing. So for some of you, that could be the challenge where you are ready to make the move, but you can't, quite literally physically can't travel right now. So that could be another angle that takes as well. In the foundation position, we have the Knight of Wands and the Nine of Swords. So this is actually Sagittarius energy, and this is Gemini energy. So for you guys, given especially that Sagittarius does represent your 12th house, and we see this energy here, which is very much an energy of being stuck in your head and possibly having nightmares or losing sleep, definitely some anxiety, right? So again, I feel like this is all related, especially given that we're seeing so much wand and fire energy, as pointing to some type of action that you guys, on the one hand, feels like it's like a push-pull with you guys, where you feel like you kind of want to make the move, but at the same time, you have a lot of fear and concern around it as well. So, it can be a big move for you guys. Maybe that's the main issue, is that, maybe you have you've grown roots where you are now, and maybe there's a lot of comfort there, right? You know everyone, like I said, maybe you've achieved quite a bit of success there, but there's this urge probably for you guys to make that move, but yet you also view it as a big risk. So there's like that push-pull dynamic going on with you guys right now. And like I said, again, this is another indicator that it could just quite literally be that you guys are just restricted from being able to travel right now. Like maybe for some of you, you've already made your mind up, and now you're just waiting for all of this stuff to clear up that's going on in the world right now. In the past position, we have the Five of Wands. So if this is career related, this could definitely just be pointing to the fact that maybe this was a very competitive field that you were in, and maybe you worked your way up through that competitive field, right? And maybe, especially if it's something brand new that's being offered to you, like, well, I worked my way up the ladder here where I'm at now. Do I want to, risk losing all of that progress I made to try something new, right? But if that's the case, I feel like there's definitely some kind of a draw or pull that you guys are feeling towards that new thing, whatever it may be. And for some of you, again, it could be a relationship too, and possibly there might have been some conflict in the past, and maybe the person's trying to come back around to repair a connection, and maybe you're a little bit on the fence, right? That could be how it's playing out too. More stuck energy I'm seeing here, because we have the Eight of Swords in the present. And the Eight of Swords, again, is Gemini energy too, so this could definitely be around workplace things for you guys. But here I see like you feel restricted, like you feel like you can't move. Like I said, with the timing of this reading, given that there is all of the travel stuff, and I see so much fire energy here and the Sagittarius energy, it really could be a quite literal thing for you where you cannot travel right now, and that could be what's holding everything up. For others of you, maybe you just feel like there's uncertainty around making that kind of move because there's just so much uncertainty in general. And again, like I said, for a romantic connection, maybe there is someone that's, like I said, if it is a romantic thing, I feel like they're in hot pursuit of you. I don't feel like it's you going after them. And if that's the case, maybe maybe that approach is throwing you off a little bit to where you're like, I don't know if I should trust that, right? Okay, in the near future position, we have the Two of Swords. So still not necessarily taking action, but I feel like this energy to me shows you that at least in the near future you'll be a little bit more settled, right? Like out of these energies, the Nine of Swords isn't really moving, the Eight of Swords isn't moving, neither is the Two. But I would say that this definitely does seem to be a bit more of a calm energy, a lot more composed. It's Libra energy too, so that's 10th house for you guys, so career, social status. And we will have a full moon there this month as well. So this can just be saying that for some of you, maybe you've had multiple options on the table and now you've narrowed it down to two. That's one way it could be playing out. But for others of you, it could just be saying that you're, getting closer to that decision. You know what I mean? Going from the 9 to the 8, now to the 2, where you're slowly getting there. Now you're really you have it down to just a couple different paths you could take, and you're just taking your time with that. What's interesting is in the position of your energy toward the situation, we have the Chariot and the Knight of Swords. So these are very much moving energies. So again, I come back to, and sorry if it sounds repetitive at this point, but for some of you it could be that you have made up your mind, but now you're just waiting for travel restrictions to lift so you could actually make the move. But again, we do see Cancer energy here. We saw that with the Queen of Cups as well. And then this is Gemini energy. So out of that Cancer Gemini energy. So this can be around making a new partnership around work for some of you. And of course, like I said, it can be romance as well. Absolutely. But yeah, it looks like, for whatever reason, it looks like you guys might be ready to rush in. Again, maybe not at the very least in the beginning of the month, right? But maybe after you get to that Two of Swords phase, and like I said, maybe around that Libra full moon, you might finally be ready to move forward and take action. So that's what I'm seeing there. At the very least, communicating your decision, right? I mean, we see all those swords, the 9, the 8, the 2. Here, technically, they're only holding 1, so right? So to me, that means that you will make your decision this month at some point. And with the Chariot card, it's often referred to as a victory card. And maybe this is even saying that I always say that the Knight of Swords pops up a lot for me when Mercury's retrograde, and the Mercury retrograde is over now. I'm recording this in mid-March, but at the same time, it was retrograde in your house of communication. So maybe it's saying that now that it's finally moving direct again through your house of communication, and then it'll move into Aries around mid-month. But maybe that's saying that now that you finally have that, you're able to communicate, you're able to travel if you need to. So hopefully that travel restriction, if that is what it is for you guys, will lift soon. In the environment position, we have the Three of Swords and the Ace of Wands. So this is more Libra energy here. We see the Two of Swords, now the Three, right? And this actually represents the middle 10 degrees of Libra, and that's where that full moon will take place. So to me, this is pointing more to the significance of that full moon for you guys, and that's where I feel for a lot of you, you're going to make a decision on that new start. I do have to say for some of you, it might even be a decision that's made for you. So for example, if there are a couple of options on the table, one of them might get taken away, and then it's like, all right, well, I was having difficulty making up my mind, and now it's kind of been made up for me, right? But even if that's the case, I don't necessarily see that as a negative for you guys with the Ace of Wands right underneath that, and especially given your energy in the situation. Now, for others of you, this can be around the romance thing too, where, maybe, again, you're of two minds about whether to pursue something with this person or not, because it seems like they're pretty sold if that's the case, and then maybe this is you declining that offer, and maybe even because you're moving away somewhere, right, for a new start. So that could be what's at play there. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Six of Swords. I would just say this is a hope for you guys most likely, and this is just you guys hoping to move to calmer waters. Like, again, if nothing else, all of this looks like it could have been causing a lot of mental fatigue for you guys, where you might have just burned yourself out with all this thinking and trying to decide, or again, if you had already decided, having to deal with all this red tape, with all these restrictions going on right now, and you're just hoping for all that to come to an end, basically. That's one way it could be playing out. And for some of you, given that this is Aquarius energy too, it could be around your finances again. Like if you are trying to decide between two jobs, right? And maybe if, again, like I said, you're at an established corporation and a startup's trying to, pursue you, then it could be one of those things where like, all right, well, I'm hoping for my financial situation to settle down with all the stuff going on, But I always do point out when we do have this show up in the hopes or fears position, it's not necessarily an indicator that this energy will play out, but it's something that's on your mind. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Strength in reverse. So yeah, again, I do feel that if this is around a Leo, most likely a Leo anyway, but maybe any fire sign, since we do have all the fire energies represented here, this could just be pointing to, again, I feel like for a lot of you, you might decline the offer from this person, and then that might obviously be a blow to their ego. But if this is for you guys, let me put it in the upright while we talk about it. But if this is more representing you guys in the situation, it could just be, again, I feel like this is more than anything, this would be burnout for you guys just because of all the stuff going on. And for others of you, it could just be, trying to calm yourself from taking action too abruptly too. Maybe if you get a little frustrated, for example, that anger and frustration might start to build up in you, and you might be like, all right, let me hold off on that, right? So it is, if that's the case, if it's going to potentially manifest in a more negative way, it is good to see that in the reverse. But yeah, for a lot of you, like I said, I feel like that could be pointing more to, since we saw that Leo energy, someone in pursuit of you. And again, like I said, even if that is the other company, right, that was pursuing you and you declined their offer, could be them that's disappointed in that regard. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. And the good thing that you guys have going for you is that at the bottom of the deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So that means, in the upright anyway, forward progress in a positive way, right? Things shifting and changing. And the Wheel of Fortune representing Jupiter energy, you have had it moving through your sign for a while. So could just be, and maybe that's even what's going on too. Having that move through your sign has brought an abundance of opportunities your way to where it can almost feel overwhelming, right? All right, let's see what the Oracle cards add to the mix. We have Chop Wood. There's the artwork. and the number is 42. And some of this could even just be pointing to all the restrictions from the Saturn transit you guys have had going on, even though that is your ruler. Saturn transits aren't necessarily fun for anyone, especially you guys had so much other stuff going on top of that, too. And it is going to be moving into Aquarius soon. And then by the time we hit April, it will all already be in Aquarius. So maybe that's part of what this is about, too, feeling a bit of a lift in that regard, where you might have felt restricted for that time. And now you're able to move forward a little bit. But yeah, let me just get to the messages in the book. Sorry about that. All right, it says, being grounded in everyday experience, humility. The Oracle's message. There are times when the big dream is meant to lie dormant in your consciousness so that you can pay attention to the simple chores in your life. Consider why pruning a tree is the forerunner of delighting in the beautiful blooms when it is in full blossom. The mundane act of pulling off dead leaves, watering the soil, and then leaving it be to let nature take its course is an important step in manifestation. Taking your attention away from your goal brings you into a state of receptivity. This is the deeper purpose for releasing attachment. When you engage in everyday tasks in a meditative, contemplative way, you clear your energy to receive your aha moments, which brings you ever closer to what you seek. So, and maybe that's what we're seeing there too, with that mental anxiety energy, the Nine of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and eventually to the Two of Swords, where you do find a way to calm your mind a bit, and it helps you get to the right decision. The relationship message says nothing is as important right now as just doing what you need to do day to day. Let your heart remember that not everything has to be hard-won, passionate, or even obviously meaningful. Relationships and friendships go through lulls when the everyday tasks are at the center of awareness. That is perfect now. Hold hands, wash dishes, make a fire, read a book, share a meal, say nothing, stare into space, pick up socks, tell a dumb joke, and leave space to breathe. The work of your relationship right now is very simple. Just to be present. Funny how it takes work to just be. All is well, really. So an interesting message there too, as far as I'm thinking of like I said, the full moon that you guys will have in your 10th house. Maybe there's even some significance around that, where maybe this is all around some big thing you've been working on that's going to wrap up in the near future too. And maybe that's why we see the Two Wands and the Fool. It's like some big project you guys might have been working on that maybe could lead to a promotion, since we see the King of Wands there. You finally get it done, right? And there's that sense of relief with the sun energy, and then you actually get to move. And then, ironically, that could be part of what plays into what I was seeing with travel restrictions too, where maybe this is some big project you guys were working on. Around that Libra full moon is the deadline, which is right around the second week of April. You're like, all right, I'm going to get done with it. The second I'm done with it, I can't wait to get the hell out of here, go on a vacation. And now you're like, oh, so much for that, right? So it could even be playing out that way for some of you. But hopefully that resonated. All right, and then the prosperity message says, now is the time to take small steps rather than larger leaps on the journey to creating your most prosperous life. Move your focus off your big dream and attend to the mundane chores. Focus on the little things that may have piled up while you've been mapping out the greater plan for the life you aspire to see manifest into reality. Chop wood, carry water, as the Zen proverb advises, or wash dishes, walk the dog. While you're doing all that, Spirit will have a chance to move mountains and set wondrous miracles in motion for you. Remain humble and aware of the present. So, hopefully that message resonated for you guys as well. And next we'll move on to the next oracle card you guys got from the Spirit of the Animal Oracle, excuse me. And you got Coyote Spirit, Trust in Divine Detours. There's the artwork, and number 16. So let's see what this says. Okay, it says, do you find that you are being led on a strange detour in your life right now? Does it seem that what appears to be the next right action and the right choice, best situation, or fabulous relationship unexpectedly turns into the opposite, or just disappears into thin air as if you've been tricked? Coyote Spirit's trickster energy is designed to bring you into situations to teach you lessons you have forgotten to learn. Perhaps you need a taste of failure before you experience success, a need to feel disappointment before you can truly appreciate the joy, love, and prosperity that is coming up for you. Perhaps you are revisiting a pattern you forgot wasn't in alignment with the life you are intending to co-create, being reminded that gratitude, not complacency, will help keep you awake and aware of all that is available to you in this moment. Coyote Spirit reminds you to laugh about the unexpected twist, to develop humility and gratitude while releasing your attachment to the form of your desires. Even when you suddenly find yourself on a detour, wondering when you will get back on track to manifesting what you desire, remember that Spirit has a plan and wants the best for you. Trust in divine order now. Coyote Spirit is a divine helper. No matter what seems to go awry, things are exactly as they are supposed to be. So, hopefully that message resonated with you guys there. And like I said, the detour part makes me think of what I was saying, that for some of you, this Three of Swords and then the Ace of Wands energy might be one of those things where you might end up taking too long to make a decision, and one of those decisions might be taken away from you. But then in an ironic way, that might actually be a relief to you, where you're like, okay, well, now my mind is made up for me, basically, and you're able to move forward from there, you know? So hopefully that resonated with you guys. And the last thing we have is a mudra card. So the mudra you guys got is the Garuda mudra. There it is there. Keyword for it is maturity. Okay, there's the info on it. So if you want to take a screenshot or pause it, you can. But under benefits, it says improves intelligence, increases digestive fire, activates Manipur chakra, builds martial prowess, and according to legend, serves as protection against snakes, snake bites, and venom in general. Alright, so if that sounds like something you think would be beneficial for you guys, I will put the name of the mudra in the description of the video as always. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. Alright, bye.